Cavs look good.
Hey, welcome back to another fun-filled episode, number 16 of When I Wake Up, the podcast. You can find it on YouTube, you can find it on Apple Music, you can find it on Spotify, anywhere you get your podcasts. Today's a very special podcast. Today is our host, the proprietor of WIWU, co-founder of Wasted Talent, and the founder of himself. It's Tanner's birthday today. It's him. I'm me. And he just turned 10?
11.
11.
11-7.
Dude, I just can't wait to ask you out next year.
We're gonna finally. You take me to a 180
Yeah,
or
I can
what?
finally take you to 180.
Take me to a Saturday night dance. Dude.
Buy you a cherry Coke.
Bag of Fritos. Funyuns. Yeah. So no, how's it going? How you doing today?
It's going. You know what I mean?
No, I just wanted to kind of start.
Yeah, I mean,
I wanted to start with getting a little serious. Just, shit can happen in a fucking instant. We're fucking gelatinous bags of fucking water. So, I just, we think we're like invincible. Everybody drives around fucking 120 miles an hour on the fucking highway, doing dumb shit all the time. And we just forget that, we're just fragile fucking little beings floating through fucking time as fast as we fucking can. And a week goes by and the blink of an eye. And I'm not trying to fucking rhyme right now either, but just, the people you care about, fucking spend time with them. Whether it's your family, your friends, your fucking girlfriend, just whoever you care about and you know that they care about you, those are the people you need to be around. And
at the very least, whatever you would accept as spending time or like acknowledgement, do that. Like
right.
if you don't have the best relationship with somebody, you don't have to see them, but you can reach out. You can do.
We got phones that do fucking shit that they did in the movies back in. We got FaceTime. We got I hate FaceTiming just as much as the next person, but there's no reason to hold grudges. I mean, it's different when you're talking about friends and stuff, but when you're talking about family, there's problems in your family. There's shit going on. You're mad about things that happened in the past. It's just stupid because one day those people are gone and you're just like, oh shit, I can't fucking just whenever I want, I can't just call them and say what's up. They're literally gone. So, just while they're here, appreciate them, spend time with them. Not
to, you're not getting personal, and that's smart by choice. I'll get a teeny personal. Around the time leading up to my grandpa passing away, I didn't have a car. So
you didn't?
I did not have a car. That was before the Civic.
Okay.
So the car I had before, I was just without a car. And he was gracious enough throughout my entire life, but especially that period where I would borrow his car. And that's when I was dating a certain someone that lived 35 minutes away who wanted to see me 4 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
I would borrow his car.
Right.
Eventually got a car because of that relationship, but then a few other excuses. Just didn't see him nearly as much. And I think it was a year, because the Civic broke down when he was still alive.
And then it wasn't running.
And then I very quickly got a car after that. No, he died before I got the car. Because I took my grandma for a ride in the Escape when I got it. Just wanted to go and see her.
Yeah.
Just long story short, like, towards the end of that, I had a bit of resentment towards myself that I spent like every Sunday with him, getting breakfast with him from like 10 to at least 18 every Sunday. Mm-hmm. Like every restaurant you could hit in like a 25-mile radius of here. Dude, we went down. Have you been to Spencer Lake? Does it sound familiar at all?
Nope.
You know where the abandoned amusement park is?
Yeah.
By Medina?
Yeah.
It's like another 15 minutes like southwest from there.
Okay.
We went down there for breakfast. Like we just
pick random spots.
Yeah, we fucking went to West Virginia. and a bunch of other shit.
Yeah, that's cool as shit.
And just towards the end of his life, I didn't see him nearly as much.
Right.
So then my guilt at the end of it was I couldn't just like stop by.
Yeah.
I couldn't see you for any other reason than I needed a ride.
Right.
Or needed help or something.
Right.
So
Which,
I can
to them, I mean, I get where the guilt comes from, but to them, that was not, like, he wasn't thinking of it as, like, oh, damn, Brad needs my car again. Like, he was, like, I'm sure he was, like, oh, sick, Brad's coming over. You know? And that means I'm going to see Brad later when he drops the car off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my guilt was, I put it in my head as it started with, Brad's coming over. But then the guts of it was, oh, the car.
Yeah.
And then, oh, Brad's back. Oh, he just left.
Yeah.
Like, so he dropped it off. Or, dude, there's times he had to drive my grandma's car. Like they had to fucking carpool. To get his car back.
Yeah.
And I told you where she lived, so that basically we'll just say from your house to Fawn Lake, it's not a drive. It's like 4 minutes.
Yeah.
But it was still like
You have to do
out of the way. Yeah.
Right,
So
100%.
I think there's always like hindsight's always 20/20, but yeah, he was that was hard. That the tattoo that I have, the tiger and the snake, he has that tattoo. That's why I got it.
Oh, nice, dude.
Now it was from like 1983.
Yeah.
And it was on the inside of his arm and looked like Pooh Bear fighting like a grapevine. But
because it was old.
But yeah.
That's cool.
So yeah, definitely spend time with those you care about.
Spend time with the people. I mean, it's just, it puts things into perspective, especially, you know, I just think about, like you said, things that you could do better with people that are already gone and with people that are here still, that you know you could still be better about things. So it was a sad weekend. It's a very bittersweet birthday, I would say.
Yeah.
I'm not like, you know, it doesn't really feel like my birthday, just because it was just a shitty weekend. So hopefully things, I mean, it seems like things are looking up already. So I'm optimistic, obviously, but yeah. So
Hell yeah.
happy birthday, you know?
Happy birthday, Danny.
Yeah. So happy birthday, Dan, dude. That was last weekend, that party? Or was it the weekend before?
Yeah, no, 2 weekends ago.
It's already been 2 weeks. That was fun. You didn't go. I don't know why, but
Well, yeah, I was supposed to help Jade pack up more stuff to move in.
Yeah, you can list off as many excuses as you want, but yeah. No, that was fun. Gabe and Riley came. Gabe brought.
Actually did?
Yeah. Gabe brought one of those little Amazon tablets. Gave one to Danny and AJ. I didn't even know he gave one to AJ. He came over yesterday and he's like, dude, he gave me one of those tablets for my birthday. I was like, dude, that's awesome, man. Heck yeah. Never even met him. Literally never even met AJ. It's hilarious.
That's like a young Brad move, but not fucking tablets.
Yeah.
We would hang out somewhere and I would notice, not you, but I would notice like whatever dip you bought. But like you would have been a guest for like 1 or 2 parties.
Yeah.
It's like the third party. I would just like, we would clink drinks or whatever, and then I would like give you dip, and you're like, the fuck? And I'm like, I know.
I found it.
I'm like, I know what you like.
Yeah, you had a crush on me, dude. I feel it. But no, we didn't get to really introduce you. People that have listened to the show. I mean, we don't have a fan base, but people that have listened, you know, you are officially now, have been on the show the most out of everybody. So this is the third one you're on, so.
First one was in the Beulah.
Yeah, that was the second episode we ever did.
Second one we tried to film in my bedroom.
Which, that second episode we did, that's like, it doesn't have a ton of views because the ones most recently do, just because we've been promoting them more, and they're with video. But that second podcast we ever did, that was a damn good podcast.
It was pretty funny.
That was a good podcast.
We had McGilligutties in the beginning.
Yeah.
Taking shots.
No, that was the most recent one we just did.
Yeah, my bedroom.
Yeah, I'm talking about the second podcast that I ever did.
Yeah.
The one we were talking about CERN.
Yeah, and you were...
That was the most research that I've done for any of these podcasts. I did like 2 days of research for that one.
We came correct on that
Yeah,
one.
for sure.
And then I think how this is gonna go and how anything should go, like with more information, more experience, your opinion and your outlook should change. And what I think is smart is that, like for example, Jacob that was on recently, a couple episodes ago. It's tailored to the guest. So if there's controversial topics to talk about or things like that to discuss, they can still be discussed.
Yeah.
But like he'll talk about music with him because that's his lane. That's his thing.
Yeah.
Christian, you would talk about what he's been writing.
Well, I'm trying to give everybody
like
a
that.
platform too. You know what I mean? Although it's not a large platform yet, it will be, I think, because we are funny people.
Funny guys.
Funny people. I'm about to use the last available edited jeans mix for this podcast, and then I have to edit the last 3, and then we got to film some more. And or film some other stuff that we were talking about.
Yeah.
I shouldn't even said that, dude. That's such a big surprise, man. We were just, we were doing the Mr. Ciolic health class, everyday thing. We went to Yahoo, and we were looking at the main headlines. And it's just funny to read stuff because the way the world is now with media and stuff, it's just everybody knows it's all just headline, like, clickbait stuff. And this one says, jury finds Trump sexually abused, defamed Carol. So, number one, that makes no sense. Anyway, how do you find him sexually abused? Number one. But then you realize, okay, that makes no sense. And then you're like, okay, so he's sexually abused somebody? And then you click on it, and he didn't. He didn't,
yeah. What a lot of journalists fail to realize is their pacing and their what's the word, their cadence to a title of an article is typically like dog shit from a dog that's dying.
Well, but that's what I'm like. That makes no sense. Does that make sense?
It makes enough sense to do what they're trying to provide. They're trying to provide people to freak out. It does just that. What they're that's what people like. I'm not saying you, but that's what certain people.
Well, that's actually probably why they worded it like that. So that
exactly.
You go what?
That's why.
And you click on it.
That's why people fail to connect. They might realize it and they might react unaccordingly, but that's the whole point. It's like if I said like 10,000 jobs lost, but it's for the plain dealer. You're like, holy shit. But then you read the article and it's like, yeah, so
by 2045,
or like 50 Chick-fil-A's closed down.
Yeah.
Like in the state of Ohio and then other states, and you're like, oh, so 10,000 fucking fast food.
No, and that's
employees
always
lost their
been a
jobs.
thing, and I understand that. You know what I mean? But then you get into this, and it's even more like, how do people not realize your brain is being, prodded with, literally, with words.
And what's kind of funny, because I think you and I are guilty of this to an extent, but it's definitely changed as we gotten older. I think it also plays to the fact that grown adults, like, because we feel old. Yeah. Because you turned 26 the day that this is recording, so it is May the 9th. I will be 26 on the 26th. Mm-hmm. So there are grown adults like that, succeed our age that are 36 that will read that headline and won't read the article.
No, for sure.
And then other adults, not just Rogan, he's just the biggest one, but are just proponents now of fucking look into it. Even if it is on Yahoo, even if it's on Google, even if it's on Instagram.
Like, you're already there, you already clicked on it. Like, why can't you just click on the next thing?
Even if it's on Twitter, you click on it and you read it. You never go just off the title. Because even if the article is bullshit, you have to read it to know that.
Yeah. But that's the thing is, like, some people don't even know how to read.
But I'm sure you could say it, and I could definitely say it. There are members of my family that they might actually read the article, but they see that headline.
But they retain zero information because all they read was all they remember is the bold.
Because that's what they're thinking as they're reading it.
Yeah.
and then that's what they'll repeat
And
to
you
their
don't,
friends.
you can
Like,
read words and not retain anything. You can just read them.
Of course.
Like,
It's fucking 5th grade.
yeah. That's
Like, I retained what was going on, but I mean, how many books did we read in grade school where like you read it, like you understood, like he went here and they said that, and then you'd get asked a question in class and you're like, I don't know, but then the teacher would explain it and then you're like, yeah, no, that makes sense.
Did we have
Like,
books that we had to read in like before high school? Did we had to read
no,
for class?
We definitely did.
No, we had to read like the dumb like AR ones, and we had to go take tests and stuff.
We definitely had like class books to read where maybe
In
you had to
high
read like a
school, though.
chapter.
Oh no, I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Crispin and like
Crispin, fucking what was the other one?
Where the Red Fern Grows.
A something tale, not Handmaid's Tale. I still have to watch that show. Talk Everlasting, remember that?
Horrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only one that was good was Where the Red Fern Grows. What was the one we read in 8th grade? That one about the flowers for Algernon.
Yeah.
That one was
like
cool.
that one.
That one was cool. Yeah, no, I remember now. I just, sometimes you gotta just, like, I was home this weekend, and my mom calls me, and she wants me to help Brooke do her math final. Not final, but, so, she didn't go to school past 2 years. She's been doing homeschooling and online and stuff, so she doesn't do anything, doesn't learn anything. So then you just cram in all the homework at the last second to try to make sure you pass, make sure you fail, try to make sure you fail, and
So you don't walk.
right. So this is her senior year, and she's supposed to graduate. So she takes that last test, and she has her boyfriend take it for her. Okay, who's in the military in a different state, takes the test for her, fails it, gets a 38. Gets a 38 on it. That's the only class that she's gonna fail. So if she fails it, she's not gonna graduate.
Right.
So
It's pretty big deal.
so the teacher gave her 3 tests to take to make her grade go up, because you can't just take one. It's not gonna make it go up enough.
Yeah, it's not gonna raise the curve.
Yeah. So he gave her 3 tests to take that you have to all pass them all, and then you'll be able to pass the class. So of course she's not doing them. So she asked me to do it, offers me money. I'm like, I'm not doing it for you. I said, I've been out of school. I didn't need anybody to do my work for me. I passed everything. No problem. Didn't need to do it. Nobody needed to do my work for me.
And you weren't fucking stupid, but you also passed.
Yeah.
Like I might have gotten an 87 or like a fucking 80.
No,
but
yeah, I graduated.
passed.
Dude, my final like GPA I think was like a 3.8 for like all 4 years.
See, you want to talk about curves, and then we can go back to what you were saying. What I excelled at, I fucking overachieved at.
Yeah.
Dude, I graduated like a 2.5. But
Because those couple classes just pooped on you.
but
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
B+ and above in all my math and science classes.
Same.
Like, but then
Until chemistry and physics.
I fucked around. I couldn't place in a higher science. That's what got me fucked up. But no, it was funny enough. It was English.
Was your best or worst?
English was my worst because I was a piece of shit when it came to the homework.
What was the homework for that class?
It was always it was always like it was reading, but then filling something out,
Or then it was writing an essay and getting shit on because you have to, dude. Yeah. It's such a stupid thing to be complaining about, but that stupid shit where you have to MLA or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Why do we have to do that? Why can't we just write a fucking essay, a paper on a piece It's so dumb.
What fucked it up was junior year. I took advanced placement. If you remember, it was APLAC. If you might have remembered it, I mean, obviously, I could have asked you this fucking 5 years ago.
I was in all the regular classes. I didn't.
Yeah, so I had Topolsky sophomore year for language arts 10 or whatever it was called, and then for junior year I took basically AP English because freshman and sophomore year I passed.
But that was your worst class, though. Why were you taking AP English?
Because this was fucking like pontificating, like not fully stoner Brad, But like, kind of just like I see shit differently.
Wow, what a word you just used too.
Like, and you know, because we're
I'll
only
put the definition on the screen when you.
but we're only a couple weeks apart. So this is going into junior year. Like, we just turned 16
today. Yeah.
So we really don't know anything.
Is that when we turned 16? Was junior year, dude?
Well, yeah, because that's 2013. August of 2013 was junior year. Because senior year started in 14. So yeah, August of 13 we were 16. What the fuck? So, but so I applied for that. There was
10 years.
There was summer work. That's what they fail to tell you, even with math and science. There's summer work. But what they also don't tell you.
You see me doing that shit.
Well, what they don't tell the kids that they like kind of stray away from that once they hear that. You also have all summer to do it. And knowing how you worked in school, like, it was very, like, even though you didn't want to do it because of just how you grew up and everything, it was just matter of fact, like, no, you just do it.
You're going to do it, yeah.
And even if you cram it, well, you're going to cram it before it's due.
Yeah.
So you're just going to do it.
I mean, what ended up happening was just, like, most people is, like, probably halfway through junior year and, like, all of senior year, I was just doing all my work, like, in the 4 minutes before class started. Like, where you're just like, yeah, you're just filling shit out. You know, and because most of the time they're not collecting the shit, you're going over it in class.
Yeah, and you know, from I think didn't we have 2 math classes together? Were you in my ropes class?
Was Calvin in your class?
No,
and Joey and yeah.
No, did you have ropes sophomore year or freshman year?
No, freshman year.
Yeah, I had Dave in my class. I had Dave and I had Cliff Chase.
Freshman year? Yeah. No, Cliff Chase was in my class. Did he move to your class then?
He's definitely in. I mean, I had it.
He started in my class.
I think our class was around like 11 because it was around the first lunch block.
Freshman year?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he started in my class that year. For sure.
He eventually moved to that class. I thought
Dave was in my class. You were probably in my class.
We're probably in the same class.
Calvin? You don't remember big Calvin?
Calvin what, though? Because I remember a Calvin.
The big Hispanic dude. Huge. He was like 6'5".
Maybe.
He wore like jeans and boots. Like, he was just a big, huge dude.
Maybe. If I saw a picture.
Joey Matina? Is that what
was Joey in there?
Yeah.
Because I knew Nick.
Yeah,
because
Dave was definitely in my class. You were in my class.
Hell yeah.
You don't remember? We would take tests. Dude, we would take tests. And I
remember.
I would purposely sit, because she would just spread all the desks out, and we would just sit wherever we wanted, basically, when we took tests. And I would purposely sit at the desk closest to her smartboard.
Wait.
So that when she was on the computer, I would sit there and the smartboard's off, and we're taking the test, and I would literally write, "I love you," and it would pop up on her screen while she's on the computer, dude.
I remember that you were in my class. My class, not your class. I remember that you were in the class because, okay, so I don't think it's going to make a difference, but let's see how great your editing skills have gotten. You always complimented her when she did, I'm going to draw it for the viewers, when she did that bracket.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You're like, can you do the thing? And then she would start it and pause and look like, are you serious? And you're like, come on. And then she'd finish it. You're like, yes, bro.
I do remember that, dude. That's so funny.
Well, then you had to remember when...
I got to see her again, man.
I think a lot of us want to see her again. Like,
I got to see that woman again.
But I think... But then you had to remember when someone made a noise and said, like... And then I think she responded, like, did someone... What was that? And everyone's like, no, that was nothing. Like, maybe you farted or something. And then I was like, no, she queefed. And I didn't get in trouble, but I got the look. And the look, it didn't do anything for her. It did everything for me.
Yeah.
When she fucking made eye contact with you, and I'm like, this is how it always starts in the films that I watch.
She made eye contact with you.
With me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is how it goes.
God.
In the content that I was viewing at the time. I was like, this is how it starts. So, and didn't get in detention or anything, but...
Did she ever tell us how old she was when she was teaching us? She wasn't like in her 30s yet, right?
No. I think she was. I mean, she might have been our age then.
Yeah, I feel like
which
she
was
like
close enough. No, not like that.
Oh,
not like that.
I was about to say,
But
I mean, it is.
like, but close enough. Looking back on it now, like we were all fucking dumb.
Oh yeah,
But looking back on it now,
we played it pretty cool though. I feel like
we played it.
I
Pretty
definitely
cool,
played it pretty cool with her.
But
yeah.
like, let's be honest. Like, if you weren't in Olmsted Falls, and you were a hot 20-something teacher, it's probably not a good time.
No. Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, but that school is like a fucking breeding ground for teachers like that,
Yeah.
dude, with end up, having problems.
Pellright.
Yeah, there's been like a bunch.
I forget his last name, but if you remember David, he moved before high school, but then he might have came back for a year. He was definitely back after high school. But David Cole had an older sister. And she was in high school when the band teacher, I think it was Mr. Barry, what was his name? When he was literally, like, he basically pulled a Mr. Hunter. But
I'm about to say that's a whole nother.
But in the high school.
There's been like.
I wouldn't say that Jews are weak. It's not.
I didn't say that.
It's not. Oh, we're filming? Oh. And we're back.
Okay, fuck.
Welcome back to WIWU, number 16.
It's high noon.
It's high noon.
Did you bring your fucking Colt 45?
We're triple jamming. And, yeah. So, back to repercussions. No. So, thought I would surprise Tanner. Now, he kind of fucked me.
Oh,
No, he came. I came. The fucking was mutual, but he fucked me. So I'm going to tell a little story. I don't know. Just kind of putting him on blast. I don't think Christian's going to listen to this one. He might, but so Sunday, Greg was over Saturday night.
Did you guys watch the podcast together or what?
I watched it. Well, I listened to it when I was working.
Oh, okay.
But so you came over Saturday.
Pretty good, right?
Yeah.
You didn't watch it though?
I watched it when I could. I left it on my table.
So you might have to rewatch it because I put a bunch of funny stuff in there, dude.
No, I was 100,000% listening to it while I was working, and then as I passed my table, would watch it.
Hang on, I'll transfer your call.
So we hung out, had a fire Saturday, but unbeknownst to you, Greg that night he had a bottle of Bacardi Gold. Now, when he left Sunday, he left the bottle. So Christian's been being a Jedi Master, playing his PS5. Mm-hmm. So he was playing all Sunday night.
Leveling up.
He finished the Bacardi bottle.
I think you say he finished the game already.
And he's off on Mondays. So he decided to keep the buzz going. He was going to DoorDash some beer, some tall boys. He wanted to get 3 tall boys. And I DoorDash. So this is a fuck up on DoorDash, not the driver. Because if you pay, it's already paid for. You don't have to shop for it. It's just paid for. The driver shows up with 3 24 racks of Coors Light.
That's what he paid for?
He paid for 3 tall boys. And
so the guy just walked in and grabbed those?
The guy, well, yeah, because there's like hubs. So like if you order eggs off of DoorDash, there's a hub. So they have their own place. And
someone put 3 24-packs?
Someone read it wrong and grabbed 3 cases. Now, Christian drinks more than we do, but he'll drink like 4 or 5 beers, but he doesn't get drunk. Like he doesn't get like super fucked up. He can keep a shit. So when it got dropped off, now mind you, this is now bleeding into Monday. So let's just call it Sunday night. I'll say AM, but it's like Monday at like 1 a.m. The dude shows up with 3 cases of beer. So he tips him 2 cases. He's like, I don't need 72 beers.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Yeah, dude, like, that is awesome.
So.
What a guy. What, did you bring me some Coors Light?
brought you a 6-pack.
6-pack in a grocery Walmart bag, dude.
Because you were like, you got to bring beer. And I was like, I thought I had 2 of these beers left. I had 3. And I was like, I'll give him one if he asks. But I'm trying to get a buzz going. I was like,
let me tell you something about Coors Light, all right? Okay? Now, obviously, when the mountains are blue, you know what I mean? Don't come knocking. But that's how it goes, right? No, I went to like 5 grad parties the year we graduated, and everybody had a keg of Coors Light, and it was like it was the best ever.
yeah.
It was like the best beer I ever had in my life. I don't know if it was just because it was in a keg, but
There's something about that, like the process of you pumping it and it coming out.
oh, it was.
Because essentially,
Hold on.
because what people
Wait.
What?
Did you hear what you said?
How you pump it?
Did you hear what you said though?
What did I say?
You said there's something about pumping it and making it come out.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna further my point so it didn't sound like sexual.
Well,
But
it doesn't matter once you say that.
it matters a little bit.
No, because once you say that, I mean,
But
don't
once
come knocking.
But once they say the next thing, then people will be knocking all night. Like, no, that's actually a good point to add, because I didn't realize this until being behind a place that served alcohol. 9 times out of 10, when you go to a bar or go to a restaurant, and the beers you see on tap, they're just mini kegs underneath.
Yeah.
So then it all makes sense. That's why a draft beer is sometimes preferred over a bottle or a can. It makes sense. So it's basically just a wild draft beer. It's just a draft beer in the wild. We could take to the field across the street. We take a keg of Coors Light and just
just because that's the original
fuck in the middle
container
of the field.
for it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because we're putting it in another container off of the original container it was in. So,
yeah.
But drinking liquids. You know what I mean? So. Sometimes I think about it and it's just like it's so weird. We drink stuff and then our body pulls everything out of it that we could use. And then it goes in a little container and then you have to literally get rid of it. It has to come out.
I used to like it when we were younger, but what's been happening recently?
And that's such a fried thought, obviously, and I mean, I sound stupid as fuck. But
I'm talking about a heavy fried thought. The more I've partaken in the smoking or the drinking, even, I'll find myself in that tunnel of thought where you become hyper aware, like you're fucked up, but you become hyper aware of like your breathing, how you feel, how your skin feels. Like if you haven't stretched that day, like your bones ache and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then you just like hyper focus on the fact of like how significant everything you do, whether you ingest it or throughout the day, how it affects you. So like you're like stoned to the gills at like 11:30 o'clock at night, like 11:30 p.m. o'clock in the evening at night. And no, but you're just laying there and you're like, do I drink enough water? You're just sitting there, you're like vibrating. You're like, whatever, you just smoked, you have a dip in, and you're just like,
chances are you don't.
you're like, do I drink enough water?
No, I do.
I drink. It sounds like I'm defending not drinking enough. I drink water. I'll just make that abundantly clear.
With my shaker bottle you make fun of me for using all the time, I fill that up at work probably 7 times a day.
Remember that, do you still have that tote bag? The turnover tote bag?
Yeah.
Okay. So when
You can't have it back.
That's fine. Fuck. No, when I got that as the pre-order, it came with a Negline, whatever that brand name is, 32-ounce water bottle. So with the same design that's on your hoodie. Mm-hmm. So I purple.
Oh yeah.
Sick.
Yeah, I've seen it.
So I fill that up like 4 times at work. So I drink, at the very least at work, I drink a gallon of water, and then I always have a case of water at the house.
Yeah, because that's a pretty fat guy, right?
Yeah. It's a normal guy, but it's lined out to 32. Then there's like another like inch above it that you can fill it up.
I don't know how much is in the one that I drink.
So I drink at least 160 ounces of water at work, at least.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably, maybe you do drink enough then. I don't know.
I looked it up at one point. I mean, the lethal dose of water is an insane amount that you would never be able to do, like, in a reasonable fashion. You would have to sit there and, like, purposely drink for, like, an hour straight.
Well, it's happened to people, though, like in track and stuff, where they chug, like, a gallon of
No,
water.
for sure. But, like, when you look it up,
But that's because they're running, I think, afterwards.
yeah, I mean, you can drink up to, like, 3 gallons of water in a day and be fine.
Yeah, in a day.
It's when you double that.
6 gallons of water.
Imagine drinking, so there's 128 ounces in a gallon.
That's... No, I wouldn't. You'd be drowning.
But, like, I'll drink at least just under a gallon from 7 to 4. So,
You
like,
should just start putting it in a gallon and looking like one of those guys that goes to the gym a lot.
dude, but what I've started doing,
And, like, even just carrying it around your forearms will get real big and stuff.
no, for sure, but you want to complete the ascension. You drink all that water. What are you going to do with all those empty gallons?
No, you just keep refilling that one.
With your urine.
I mean...
A little throat coat in there. You know what I mean? That's like, that's
Well,
that's chicken noodle soup for the soul.
If you walk around with a gallon of water and you're drinking that much water, you might as well just get a catheter.
You might as well get a catheter. You might as well check for pulmonary embolisms. You might as well start smoking.
I'll tell you what, man. A couple weekends ago when I went out to Ashtabula for a reverse raffle because I'm 55, I came home in the morning, and that's when I was staying at my dad's to take care of the dog. And I've never in my life had to pee as bad as I did that morning. I had to stop before I even got to my dad's house. I thought I was going to be able to make it, and I couldn't because I was in pain.
Yeah.
So, you know, like when you wake up and your like bladder's distended because you have to pee so bad, so it looks like you're like 3 months pregnant.
Yeah.
So I looked like I was like 4 months pregnant, you know. So I stopped at CVS in Berea, you know, right there on the corner of Bagley and whatever that is.
Rocky River Drive.
Yeah. I stop right there, and I go inside, and I can't find the bathrooms or anything. I'm like, and like you could visibly, you'd be able to tell that my bladder was distended. Like I would visibly look like I was a transgender man pregnant. Okay. So I find this little old woman, and she takes me to the bathroom, and it's like one that's in the back of the.
Yeah, you go like behind like swing doors.
Dude, and I'm not kidding you when I tell you right now that I peed for like 4 minutes straight, bro.
And when you're in that much pain, like the relief
Like I was about to fall over.
in.
I was about to fall over.
Like the relief eventually sets in, but it doesn't feel good.
No, I was in
Like,
pain.
Yeah.
Like I could barely walk or anything. Like I could barely walk.
And you don't want to push, but you can't pee fast enough.
No. And I'm not kidding you when I say like that was the worst that it's ever been in my entire life. I've been alive for 26 years now, so.
I mean, I can think of a few times. There's definitely times like that. There's times where I'm door dashing where that happens, but I'll never forget freshman year playing Avon Lake.
We had to pee while you were playing football?
If you remember, it was an away game. It was at Avon Lake, their turf field.
You should have just peed your pants.
Well, it was mid-October because our season didn't go very long. It was like we still played 10 games. I think it was like the 7th game or the 8th game maybe.
Yeah, so the horrible time of the year to be playing football.
Yeah, so we won all of our games leading up to that.
Yeah,
and
undefeated.
We get off the bus and we step on the field and we're like doing like the on-field warm-ups. Dude, like 20 minutes in, I gotta pee. Now, mind you, what's funny about this scenario is I was actually practicing on the field well. Like, whatever happened, like, I was like, whatever I do know, I'm gonna do. Like, it was something as simple as...
Well, you're thinking about having to pee the whole time, probably.
Well, I was thinking about having to pee, but it was before that, like, because Thompson was the third-string quarterback.
The greatest of all time, yeah.
But Fritz, because obviously... Brian already got hurt, so Fritz was playing because I'm almost positive that Brian beat him out that year, but then he got hurt.
Yeah.
So Fritz was throwing the balls in warm-ups because you would do the lines, you would just route trees, and I was catching all of them. And for once, like Fritz was throwing them in stride and I was catching them.
Mm-hmm.
And they wanted to put me in. What they didn't know, besides the fact that my bladder was distended, was the fact that after like the Mayfield game that year, they stopped updating my wristband. So
Yeah, because you didn't play.
Yeah, so there was times that they would put me on the field, and then Ciolek would always yell from the sideline, like 46. And I would look, and 46 is blank. So I don't know if I'm on the line, like 11 personnel. I don't know if I'm in the slot. I don't know if I'm blocking.
They didn't have another one to give you, dude?
No.
That's so fucked, man.
So,
like, what? How did they not have another one to give you?
Dude, because, I don't know, man. Like,
hey, well, at least you were playing more than I was. I was playing 0 back then, dude.
But that game, dude, I ended up not going in. I think I might have went in like mop-up time because we lost every single game. But...
well, you were like as tall as you are now when we were playing back then.
Yeah, like I was at least 5'10". Like I might have got another inch in high school. But I was like 5'10", like 170, 175.
Oh, yeah, already when we were freshmen.
And...
right?
But no,
you're talking
like,
about freshman year, right?
Yeah, freshman year. But dude, it was in Avon Lake. So knowing now where it's at, I'm familiar with the area now. But it was freeze raining. We were right by the lake. So you have to piss like crazy. Now, mind you, Tanner, it's not that Tanner didn't like me. We just weren't friends. We just weren't friends. We just didn't hang out.
Yeah, not until like probably high school. Not until like middle, maybe like half.
We became cool in Bowers class for sure.
Sophomore year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We became definitely friendly in Bowers class. But after freshman football, I kind of stopped pursuing athletics for the most part. But
I wish I would have.
But at the time, it's like I was already the strange kid the year before.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, at least you weren't Bryce Fetterman.
Yeah, but
freshman year.
I mean, put an icy hot in his helmet,
his chin strap.
Yeah, but
we all had to run.
We did, but no. So we're playing that game, and it was one. You're like, why didn't you piss yourself? I'm like, cause I had enough shit. Like I already didn't play.
Oh, you already shit your pants. You're saying it was already enough.
No, it was like, why add insult to injury? Like I'm not playing. I'm not going.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. If it's like August, September, and it's 85 out, and you're playing, and you're sweating your dick off, and you won't tell if you peed your pants, then go by all means pee your pants.
When I mean like right after the route trees were done, I had to pee.
Yeah, but
I had to pee.
Yeah, fuck all that, dude.
But
you could just be like Nick Pongalo and just leave and go get a fucking hot dog and stuff like that.
Like I said, I went in for mop-up duty at the end.
I think we should introduce it like that. I'll do it while you're starting.
Hey guys, thanks for stopping by. This is Gene's Analog Mix. Today we're going to be talking about 2 records from the late 60s. Both have elements of jazz, both psych rock. Today we're going to be talking about Spirit, their second album, Family That Plays Together. Once again, it has great jazz elements, mostly rock and roll. Great band. Our second one we're going to be talking about is an anomaly, Antrip Ceremony, 24 Hours. So for what I know, this is a band from Oberlin College, and they made a band together and recorded it within 24 hours for a school project. Mostly covers, but the first 2 tracks are originals, and the last 2 tracks are originals. This will blow your mind. Thanks for stopping.
Backpack.
Yeah. So we can never there's never a dull moment with technologies here. You could consider me, my brain capacity when it comes to technology my brain capacity is like of a 92-year-old man when it comes to technology. So even though, I'm just constantly using it and constantly making stuff and using it, but just never know how to really what I'm doing. So, you
gotta figure out.
What I did want to talk about before we ended a little bit of time left, but I wanted to talk about these trending videos, whether they're TikToks or like Instagram Reels, or I see them on Facebook the most, of people making videos that just have no point to them, and I don't even know what to like search to like find one like that right now, because it's just like, what would I even type in? But the videos where it'll be like people on Facebook and stuff with a toilet bowl, and they'll put 35 different cleaners in the toilet.
They'll put like actual like toilet bowl cleaner, and then they'll put like
Comet, and then they'll put like scrubbing bubbles, and then they'll put like
Dawn and
things like actual objects, and then like bath salts, and just like what's the and there's just no point to the video. I hate those. I hate you for doing that.
There's a certain level, like a demographic of like a, how do we put it? There's a level of the lower end of the spectrum that it appeals to. You know,
People
like,
that are on the spectrum. Is that
just
what you're saying?
like the visual ASMR community, where some
For people that
hear
are on the
things,
spectrum, yeah.
like they'll see it and they're like, oh my god, like this doesn't change the fact that I
Yeah,
I have like no money in my savings account, but this is fucking sick. Like, so they'll watch this and be like, oh, that pain in my chest, it's gone.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
like, and then you're like, it gives me pain in my chest. You can just fucking stop.
yeah,
like,
it's
today.
the worst in the world. And then you have all those people that are the cooking videos that are on purpose. They're doing it on purpose, where they're making shit like horrible, disgusting shit, and they're acting like they're not the whole time. It's got to be like a satirical thing. Like they're doing that on purpose, right?
Or even like
They're not just really dumping Velveeta in a pan, the raw noodle shells, dumping them in a pan with ranch and bricks of cheese and like and hot sauce all together and just putting in the oven. They're not just doing that like for real, right?
Remember the kids when we were going to school? They would wait at the bus stop with shorts on, and it's 20 degrees, and their legs would be purple, and they're like, "I'm not cold." It's those same kids that make the spicy food videos. They're like, ghost pepper fucking popcorn.
No reaction videos, yeah.
And they eat it, and they're crying, and they're like,
no reaction.
it's pretty good.
And then they turn the camera off and they throw up, probably.
Yeah.
They throw it up.
And they have stomach ulcers, and they die in 5 years.
I feel like you were at the lunch table when Travis Petty ate a habanero
Yeah.
and he threw it up all over the table.
I think him and Jack ate one.
Why would you do something so stupid?
They went home.
They did?
They went home that day. Yeah. They didn't finish the class. But what I fucking hate, and I'm looking at you.
Yeah, you.
What I fucking hate are the videos that people that aren't content creators try to create, where they will take the audio from videos that were already done, that might have been funny, might not have been, but any like TikTok, Instagram, any of these apps, you can use audio that's already been used.
Yeah.
And they'll recreate it with a skit or a video, but it's off time. So it looks like shit. It looks like shit.
And the whole point of doing that stuff is to make it look good.
Like, do you have maybe an aunt or an uncle?
Yeah, I
do. Really?
Yeah. I got a couple, yeah.
Lucky.
On both sides of my family.
What I would kill to have an uncle. No, and they'll maybe not personally in your family, but just that demographic. They'll film themselves like lip syncing something, but the video's not off, the audio's not off. They're just off because they don't have a sense of timing. That's like, okay, it's funny because you're just fucking stupid.
Because you're dumb, yeah.
But that's not foul play. That's just you being silly. Then there's people that recreate skits based off the audio, and it's off time, so you just look dumb. And then you're like, why doesn't my reels get more than 10 likes? Like, this is bullshit. I don't get any. No, it's like because you're fucking dumb.
Your reels are missing chromosomes, yes.
And you shouldn't create anything. Same thing with you bullshit fucking artists that record 3 songs and you're like, I'm ready to play shows. You gotta burn it to earn it. I understand that.
The thing is there's not enough self-awareness with everything, obviously, but when it comes to making art, you just like, yeah, there's some like painting and drawing and stuff that you can not have any talent and the art will look cool, okay? But when it comes to making video and putting audio and linking up stuff and doing color correcting and photography and videography and recording music and performing show, that's a whole different thing. And there's not enough people that realize that it's not for everybody to do. And that's why it's so hard to do, because it's not for everyone.
And you also realize, like, definitely when I started, because I started fucking around recording music and just hearing myself on a recording through a computer when we were in like 7th grade.
Yeah.
Like my beginnings was taking the Rock Band USB microphone and just plugging it into my laptop and seeing what happens. And it lagged.
Yeah.
There was a latency, so like you would say, hey, and then the computer would go, hey. Hey.
Yeah.
And you had to record that and then adjust it. So like you sound like shit when you start. You need the self-awareness to be like, oh, I just have to get better. And like,
but there's a very thin line between that and not, you shouldn't do it.
And you have to, there's a level of modesty you need to have, because you can't be too good for anything. And at the same time, what I started doing, I mean, especially now, but I started thinking about it like this when we were like 19, 20. I'm like, would I listen to this? Like, disassociate from the fact that it's you. Like, would I listen to this as a fan?
Right.
Like, if I showed this to somebody, not saying it was me, do I think they would like it? Not from an ego point, just like, is it enjoyable?
Yeah.
Like, was it performed well? Was it conveyed properly? Like, is it fucking palatable? Like, is someone gonna throw it up?
Can you taste it?
Or is someone gonna fucking come back?
Yeah.
And like keep getting it?
Mm-hmm.
So like, there's plenty of people that, like, I don't know, maybe not just themselves or like the people they associate with, but they're not getting, maybe like what they're hearing, they're not registering as dog shit because what they're influenced by is dog shit. So like, they think they don't think they're they don't think they're better than they are, but what they are striving to be is shit. So when they achieve shit, they're like, this is the shit.
I got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We did it.
And it's not the case.
Yeah. And that's why a lot of times I don't even tell people when I like introduce myself that or even, not right when you introduce yourself, because I would never do that in a million years, but just in conversation with someone, I don't tell them that I make music right off the bat, because most people, when you hear that they make music, or someone tells you they make music, you're like, oh God. And that girl that I was talking to from work for a while, I remember when that first started happening, and I asked her if she went and listened to my music. She's like, yeah. She just had nothing to say, and I was like, okay. And she's like, well, I like, and she starts telling me all these people she listens to, and I'm like, oh. So then that all makes sense then. Because when you listen to fucking Trippie Redd and Quando Rondo and like, people like that, you're like, oh, I get
Polo
it.
G.
I get it now. You know what I mean? It all makes sense. Clears it up for you.
And then it's the same thing where it's like, I don't know, like.
And that's why I'm making music. That's why we're making music. Because of all these we just watch all these people that are just awful, that should have never got the opportunity to be doing what they're doing, and they have the largest platform in the world, and they're just, someone's telling them, hey, the 13-year-olds are listening to this, so.
And it's not even like a societal, like, class thing. It's not, when I say like doing it just to do it, I'm not saying it because they can afford to just fucking buy the gear, buy the equipment, and just fucking, oh, I'm just gonna make a song. But it's like they see it more as a trend, not an art form. Like, you can enjoy what you do, and we talk about it a bunch. Like, there's also that fine line between like the creativity of it, but then like this podcast, like, you put fucking time and effort into this podcast, but you also will clip things out. You'll promote it and share it. You won't overdo it, but you do realize if you don't tell anybody, no one's going to know. So you have to
And if there's
do
not
that.
tangible, like, evidence, literally, of, like, you can't just tell somebody this, you're doing this, and then maybe someone is interested and wants to go look, and then they go look, and then it's just one post on the page or something, and they're like, oh, well,
Yeah, and like we were talking about it when the
People
podcast
are-
started. Like we did I think the second episode together, maybe the third.
second.
And like, but by the seventh one you did, you listened back to those and you were like, oh, I gotta get better at that.
Yeah.
Like you were like, add the video component to it. You're like, there's just things about it that have to be just ironed out. Just you figure it out.
Right.
And it's the same thing with shows, but the creative aspect of that is like if you were trash a year ago and you didn't change at all, it's gonna be refined shit a year from now. Like it's not gonna change. I don't know. Like, and like you don't want to be too derogative because you tote the line of like there's some people like I don't know what music you don't like. I really don't know what music you actually don't like. I'll just say like death metal. I don't think there's ever a point in your life where you'll ever listen to like Dark Throne and you'll be like, this is fucking cool.
No.
But there's people that make music like that maybe like people in their scene respect it and they actually do like it, and you're just like, I don't get it. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like I don't get it. What are you doing? And then like that girl from work. There's probably someone that's been on, some other podcasts that we've performed on, or like other shows we performed at, where the person that went on right before or right after you, that would be her new favorite local artist. Mm-hmm. Because that's her thing. Mm-hmm. That's her lane. Mm-hmm. And that's piggybacking on what you said, like contributing to more realistic shows that promote what we view as better artists. Like, doesn't mean that they're going to get big overnight or that we're going to get big overnight. But we respect their art form as much as we respect ours.
And that's why you want to...
And look, there's plenty of shows. You've been a part of a bunch of them. There's plenty of shows where that scene can prosper because we shit on Trippie Redd. Trippie Redd could buy you.
Yeah.
He could buy you.
Yeah.
Like, so there's something to be said of like, there's a reason why it markets so well. There's a reason why I'm sure my sister doesn't, but like her friends love that shit. Mm-hmm. Like there was kids that we grew up with that still love Travis Scott. Mm-hmm. There might be 2 songs by Travis Scott that I like. Mm-hmm. But Travis Scott was the big thing when we were in high school.
Kendrick Lamar,
like just that whole
but
thing.
that was for a reason, though.
Yeah, like, and then J. Cole came out and then fucking ruined everything for the better.
Yeah.
Like, put everyone on notice. But no, what I'm saying is, if you're shit, you know you're shit. You feel it against your sternum.
You really do know.
You know.
Like, you do.
And I'm letting you know to fucking stop.
Yeah. For your own sake.
Like,
for your own sake, because then all you're doing is you're ruining, because you're not ready, and that's all right. That's totally cool, but you're ruining someone else's opportunity when you go and you're not ready and you're up there on the stage for 15 minutes and you're wasting people's time. But not only are you wasting people's time, you're wasting your time heavily, because you're not putting yourself in a position to succeed at all. You're not succeeding.
I mean,
maybe you are getting stage time because that's scary in itself. You know what I mean? But
there's something cool about the fact of you being on a stage and you hearing whatever you created fucking blasting loud behind you.
Right.
Like there's I hate the word, but there's a vibe to it. Like
I just watched, and I don't even know if I probably won't actually say this, so never mind. What I do want to say is shout out to Stream Space for that live set we just did last week on the 4th. That was super cool. Ended up really cool. Turned out very nice. We had a lot of views on the video. So many views, just tremendous amount of views. So many views.
We had the most views ever.
Yeah, I mean, we just had the most. But no, I don't think we had the most. But no, that was very cool. We had the fans in there.
Better than China's views. I can
My
tell you that much.
my mom hasn't got to go to any shows that we've done. So my mom got to watch that. So that was kind of like my mom getting to go to a show.
Oh yeah.
So that was cool.
I'll even say this. I mean, I'm not saying, do any kind of self-harm to yourself, nothing like that. I'm not saying that. What I am saying, there's plenty of people. I mean, back in the day, they were called studio artists that were like kind of like musicians for hire. Like they would be hired to come in, play drums, play guitar, do whatever, sing, they get paid for it. Dude, if what you're doing has a lane for it, just record and never play a show. Just don't play a show.
And that's the thing, like that's the point I keep harping on too, is that learn how to do a bunch of other things. Don't just get wrapped up into one thing. Obviously, I'm trying to do this music stuff. It would be so fucking cool to eventually take this shit on the road or something. That'd be so cool. That'd be so fun. I know that. But I want, if something happens if someone messages you or Nico or Danny or Henzi about doing something big, like massive, like we're all trying to do, I want to be the guy that knows how to do a bunch of things that gets asked to come along. And I want to also, if I'm the guy that someone hits up about something massive and big like that, I want to be able to have friends that know how to do all these things so that I can bring everybody along, because it's not just a selfish thing. I'm not thinking about it at all in that way. The whole point is that we have 30, 40 people that we know that are trying to all do the same thing we are. So let's do it. You know what I'm saying?
Perfect example. This is just coincidence as far as like the role that I would have been playing. I'm not even sure if you know either of these things. There was 2 different scenarios where I was offered to play bass for 2 different bands that were going on a tour.
No, I didn't know that.
One of them was maybe a year or 2 ago, like around the shutdown time, and they were playing Midwest dates, and I actually practiced with them.
Well, around the shutdown time was over 3 years ago now, Brad.
It was like 21, so like things were still like slowly coming back to what they should have been, but we had at least 2 practices, but I think it was a work conflict. But I also was not prepared for it, which tags along to what we were saying before. I wasn't prepared for that. But then years before that, there was a local band. I won't say their name just to spare the nonsense of talking about the band. But there was another band they were forthright with saying they were having bass guitar auditions. Now, we know Crust and Danny and all of them, they play bass. I would say I play guitar well enough. And bass guitar is kind of if you have a sense of bass rhythm, it's an easy transition to play bass. They were holding bass auditions. Danny said he would have let me use his gear to audition, and I feel like I would have gotten it, but I didn't. I wasn't ready. I didn't have the gear for it, but, in hindsight, I probably wasn't ready. You know what they did a month later? They went on tour in Japan. But that's what we're saying. Like, you can't just...
You knew you weren't ready, dude.
I knew I wasn't ready. It's more of a caveat because I didn't have a bass guitar to my name.
Well, yeah.
But, I wasn't ready. That opportunity presented itself. I didn't waste their time. I mean, maybe the second one I wasted their time. But I couldn't do it. By the second practice, they knew I couldn't get off work for it. But...
Hello? Yeah, Brad's going to wrap it up soon here. Brad's going to wrap it up pretty soon here.
All right, hurry up.
I just got the Trojan NZ condom, so I'm going to wrap it up.
We just got to the point of the podcast where we were talking about how big your boobs got since you got the enhancement.
Something about the nicotine withdrawals made you lactate? I don't know.
All right, we're leaving. Bye.
All right. What do you mean?
About to go to $2.
Oh, well, hold on. All right. Give me a second. All right, bye.
Bye.
fuck him. No, but long story short, like opportunities will present themselves when they mean to. We've heard it from numerous athletes, business owners, whatever. But what do they say? Like opportunities when luck is presented when hard work, and what else? It's like preparation, hard work meet, and that's luck. Mm-hmm. Like you get your break, you get your shot when like you put the hours in and you care. Like you have to keep doing it. Like you don't, not to make a joke, but you can't build a house in a day.
Right.
Like you have to learn, and then after
Amish get pretty close, but yeah,
they get pretty close. But like you knew like the amount of time you put into recording. I mean, I remember the first recordings with you and Danny. I wasn't even rapping yet. Not just the figured out joke, but like before Karoshi, like you guys had to keep doing it from a distance. That was still in the Columbus days.
Yeah.
And like from Columbus to Ashtabula, and then it's only a couple months ago that it was back here, but when you were coming out, I still think it's funny. I didn't know that you were coming out here with Gabe. I didn't know that Gabe had that
Chrysler.
He had the, what is it called, the fucking convertible.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So every time I drove past his house and saw that convertible, you were here. Because I was like, are we friends? And you're like, you never come out. I'm like, neither do you. And you're like, I come out more.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but when? Like, when do you come out? But you came out all the time.
Yeah, we were recording that album.
Long story short. No, you put the time in, and it has to be... you need a fucking mirror in front of you. Like, you have to know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah.
And, are you a corned beef hash fan?
No.
Good. I feel like it's for the same reason. Because it kind of smells and looks like dog food. Mm-hmm. You can only cook corned beef hash so many times before you realize it's fucking dog food.
Yeah.
So, like, if you don't ever fucking throw potatoes in there...
It's colonial food,
yeah,
dude.
just get it out of the can. Like, come on. Like, you gotta fucking... You need support, but you need the right kind of support.
Like a sports bra.
Like a sports bra. Like, it holds everything. Like, they don't judge. I judge. They don't judge. Like, you need... And like I was saying, because... I'm trying to help. Just make music. Don't do shows. Don't do shows. Because most of those shows, for the sound of like artists we're talking about, it's heavily production based. As far as like stage production. Like light and sound and all that other shit. So like, if you're making $20 like we are playing shows, you're not in a position to be doing shows like that where you're coming up short based on the entertainment factor of it. Just make music. You can make music because we're not going to like it, but there's probably 30 people that are going to like it. And that's how it starts. There's probably 30 people that fucking hate what we do, but 25 people that like it. And then if we are on another show or we do another podcast or do something else, that will grow too.
Just try to balance it out to where you get to the point where you're not releasing stuff and spending tons of money on stuff and not getting any money in return. So we've been very smart about trying to, other than the fact that like the last couple times we released like albums or like projects, we were buying beats and stuff, which we've gotten away from. But you need to get away from buying beats. You need to try to make your music by yourself, or find a person that's selling them for real cheap. But like the $250 beats and stuff, that's dumb to invest that way because most of the time you're not going to make that money back. You're not going to start making money from streams and stuff until you have a catalog. So that's what we're trying to do right now. We're trying to build that catalog of singles and projects and all that stuff.
And fun fact for all the artists out there, because I have limited experience doing it, but my girlfriend has known experience doing it. Most venues, by the way, like reputable venues that you would want to perform at, that you've seen shows at, most of them won't even take your submission if you don't have a single released. Not SoundCloud, not Bandcamp.
Yeah, like a real one.
Not DistroKid. If you don't have anything more than a single released, it's typically thrown out. Your email is deleted. They
They delete you.
They delete you.
Yeah,
they fucking delete you.
You get deleted.
Like they me to you real quick.
You've been signaled to wrap it up from the signal callers in the distance.
Episode 16 has been a blast. It's been a brain blast of sorts, you could say. Jimmy Neutron. Jimmy. It's been episode 16. It's been his birthday. We have been 2/5 of Wasted Talent.
Nice.
You can find me on Instagram at my full name and then the number 1 on Instagram. You can find him at Setback440.
That's what's up.
You can find us at Wasted Talent Ohio on Instagram. Shout out. Follow the WIWU podcast under the tag name. I believe it's WIWU Pod.
Mm-hmm.
His name on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Check that out. Check out Studio Mind as well.
If you're watching the podcast on YouTube, like it. Just like the video. You know what I mean? Just
like it, subscribe to it.
Yeah, I mean, who cares? It takes 2 seconds. Just just mosey on down and just nudge up against that like button and give it a little brushing, and then
give it a like.
Also, it's really annoying, but it used to be Anchor, but now it's Spotify for podcasters. I got to 50 listeners months and months ago, and that's when I was supposed to be able to unlock the ambassador ads, start doing ads on my podcast, make money. But then they switched over to Spotify for podcasters, so now they changed it from 50 listeners to 100, so then it reset, and now I'm at 18 of 100 listeners. So anybody that has Spotify that does watch this, go watch it on Spotify instead of YouTube, just until I get this unlocked, if you would. So yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm saying we as if I'm a part of the operation of it, but right now we're currently at the Patrick Beverly 3-point percentage of eligibility.
Yeah.
We're not doing really well.
Yeah, not well. We want to get up to Kyle Korver numbers.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks. Appreciate you being the host today, dude. We should have switched seats. That'd have been even better.
We should have.
Yeah.
But after we had sex, it was just kind of weird to fucking.
Yeah, I was all hot and sweaty and stuff like that. Didn't put deodorant on. All right.
I came into my underwear I just.
Jacob does that too. Thanks for watching. As always, don't forget to flick those nipples. And today's, the mantra at the beginning. Don't forget to, spend time with the people you love. Don't hold grudges. All that stuff. Yeah, life's too short. All right, gang, gang.
Gang, gang. And if you suck, just stop.
Yeah, just if you suck, stop. That might be the title of the episode. If you suck, stop.
Hug your parents, but just fucking stop.
Yeah. All right.